Hello and welcome to today's art lesson, which is all about weaving. We're going to create our own piece of weaving today, but first a look back at how weaving originated. Weaving is a craft that has been used for centuries to create fabric. By weaving threads together, you can create your own fabric, your own piece of textiles. Two yarns or threads are woven together at right angles to create the fabric. A loom is the machine used to help you weave the two yarns together. And in the old days, they were always wooden frames like the one you can see in this picture. Here's an example of a modern day sophisticated weaving machine. These are the resources that you'll need to make your own loom. This is just a piece of cardboard that you could use the back of a cereal box. I've got the lid of a shoebox here. And the other resources that you need are any pieces of fabric or string or ribbon. Here's an example of some of the resources I found around the house for my weaving today. I've decided to go with a blue theme, a Hawfield blue theme. So I've got some offcuts of fabric, some pipe cleaners, some ribbon, some tissue paper that I've cut up into strips. So it doesn't have to be fabric, it can be paper. If you don't have any coloured paper, you could paint some paper. It's completely up to you. You don't have to use blues, you can use whatever theme you like. You might like to use a rainbow theme. So the first thing you need to do to make your loom is to cut a rectangle out of your cardboard. Once you've got your rectangle of cardboard, you're going to use a ruler and you're going to measure along the short side of your loom, and I'm going to make a mark every 2 centimetres. So 2, 4, 6, 8 and then 10 is at the edge. Then I'm going to turn it round and do exactly the same at the other end. Next I'm going to use my scissors to make a little cut where each of these lines are. So each cut needs to be roughly 1 centimetre long. The next step is to get your loom and turn it over, and through the first snip along the top put your string through. Pull it through quite a way so you've got quite a large piece of excess on the back, and then you use a piece of masking tape to hold that in place and then turn back over. The string in our case that we're using is known as the warp. It's the thread or the yarn or the string that runs vertically up and down the loom. There we go, and then turn it over again. Leave yourself a decent piece at the end and then use a piece of masking tape. There we have a loom ready. Now to start actually weaving on our loom. So the first resource that I found that I'm going to start weaving with is this gingham ribbon. So start on the left hand side at the top and then you go over and under, over and under. So over, sorry, I'm going to start with under. So under, over, under, over. Make sure you leave a piece at the end because you'll need that later. And then when you get to the end, you turn around and you come back, under, over, under, over. Now, depending on what effect you want, you might need to keep these threads really flat, or you might actually quite like to fold them or crease them. That's up to you. And you can go backwards and forwards, under, over, under, over, as many times as you like with each different piece of fabric or paper. The name of the threads that run from left to right horizontally are called the weft, and at any point you might decide to change your weft. So I'm going to stop now with this weft and I'm going to attach a different one. I've changed my weft and I'm now using some blue tissue paper, so I'm just going to continue with under, over, under, over. Change my weft again to a different type of, this time, ribbon. Another change to the weft, so this time I'm going to change it to some royal blue cord fabric that I found. you get to the end, you need to just make sure that you condense the wefts together so you have a nice solid piece of fabric. And then starting at one of the ends, cut two of the warps, and then you tie them together in a double knot. And then the next two. Remember to also fasten the first piece of ribbon or fabric that you were weaving with to one of these knots, and then do the same at the other end. And there's my finished piece of weaving. So have a think about the vocabulary that we've learnt and used today with our weaving. First of all, we had the loom. Can anyone remember what the loom is? That's right, the loom is the machine. It used to be a wooden machine. And we've used a piece of cardboard today, but it's the actual machine that you use to create your piece of fabric on. And then we have the warp. The warp is the thread that runs vertically up and down the loom. The weft, which is the thread that runs horizontally from left to right. I hope you've all enjoyed the textiles lesson today, and I'll see you all soon.